ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chop Talk. I am your co-host, Andre C. Right over here, it's the spirit princess herself. It's Melball. How you doing, Melball?
Spirit princess. Why am I? Because I'm a cheerleader.
No, all the spirits.
Oh, he's giving away my secrets.
Yep.
I'm not. It's not spirits. It's wine. We're good. I'm out in Canmore with my parents, so we're at a new broadcast. Speaking of spirits, location. Oh man. I've been having a good week though, Andre. I've been visiting my parents here. I've been enjoying hikes. We went up a gondola today by Lake Louise. Got to see Lake Louise from like, at 40 kilometers or so, but we got to see it from the top of a mountain. It was beautiful. There were ground squirrels. I even saw a bear. I choose the bear. How are you
Yeah,
doing, my friend?
but it was a stuffed bear, right?
Sure.
Well,
They must be all the same.
I saw you mounting a stuffed bear in a picture you sent me.
I wasn't mounting it.
You're trying to climb
Hugging
onto his back.
I was hugging him
Oh,
from behind.
I only.
It was a spooner hug.
So you're mounting him.
I was not mounting him. He was too high for me to mount.
I
It
meant
was
mount in the way of like climbing on his back to ride him. I didn't mean in the other way, but
I couldn't even do that. I couldn't even do that. He was standing upright. What am I gonna do? My legs aren't that strong. I try, but they're not that strong.
Oh yeah.
How are you doing, Andre?
Good. Good week so far. Some sad, some good. Work's been good. Some sad in life, just the sad
I
things in
feel
life.
that. I
And
feel
then
that.
and then a big positive because as we record this is Thursday night. As this comes out, it is Friday morning. And guess what? Friday night, RCW. I will be there, and I will be ring announcing. I'm making my return to the ring to ring announce. I'm so excited. So if you're seeing this before 7:30 p.m. on Friday, June 21st, and you want to come out, come out. I know Jason won't be there, tisk because he's gonna be watching Oilers, but we're gonna be showing the game
I'll be
before
there.
the game. We're gonna be showing the game beforehand and during intermission, so you could watch it when they're showing it. Well, in between wrestling.
Um, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, this is pretty good for the Oilers. I'm not a hockey fan. I'd like to vibe with people while they're watching hockey, but I'm not really a hockey fan. So like this is not a big deal for me that the Oilers are playing and there's wrestling the same night. But I
Mm.
know it's a big deal for Edmonton, which is where the show is going to be, that the Oilers are going to be there. So I am a little concerned about how busy the show is going to be. However, I guess we'll see if you're still working based on how this show goes.
I'm shitting on somebody today. That's for goddamn sure.
I'm just gonna sit back and be like, I look smart today because I got books.
But we're not here to talk about us. We're not talking about here to talk. Well, I'm here to talk about me because I'm awesome. And Mel's here to talk about her because she's awesome. But we're here to talk about some RCW from last weekend on
Mhm.
Saturday. What was the date? Saturday, June 15th. We were there at the Norwood Legion watching some RCW. Before we get into that, I want to thank each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for joining us here on our YouTube pages, whether it's Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, whether it's Backbreaker Video. The field goal is good. Thank y'all so much for joining us here. We really do appreciate you guys. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below because what you have to say matters to us. We want to hear from you. We love hearing from you. We've got the last top talent. I've gotten a couple different people that we haven't heard from on the channel before. Somebody related to one of the wrestlers and other people, and I'm just excited to hear from these people. And if you see us at a show, please come say hello to me, and I'll introduce you to Mel because Mel is very introverted in life. I'll introduce you to her so she doesn't feel too like, oh my god. But come
Who
find
are
me.
you?
I'm the big loud guy. You see my face. I'm just
You
a big loud guy.
cannot miss him.
Cannot miss.
You
I'll be ring announcing at RCW, so you can't miss me. You cannot miss.
you cannot. It is an impossibility. It really is.
And don't forget to share us out to all your friends, family, and crazy little ground squirrels. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
I don't know where to ding dong now because I don't have a microphone. Ding dong.
Hello.
Oh, Lord
Oh,
have mercy. This
Jesus.
is going to be a fun episode.
It's gotta be.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
we're gonna talk some RCW Violent Tendencies, and they kicked it off with, I think, one of the two matches you and me were both like. One of the two matches you and me were like most highlighted to see on this one. I enjoyed this whole card except for one match. But I Christian Starr, Mitch Clarke, Christian Starr. I think this kid is an absolute star, for the lack of a better word. He is
Pun
so good.
intended.
Pun completely intended. He is so good. And Mitch Clarke, I've been a fan of this man since his UFC days, and since he rose up in MPW. Man, Mitch Clarke is just a phenomenal professional wrestler. So good. Mitch is tossing Starr around early.
Oh, yeah.
Starr ends up sliding under the bottom rope, sweeps Mitch's legs, gets a slingshot spear on the ring. Mitch ends up rolling to the outside, and Starr hits a beautiful low pay to the outside. Mitch rolls away from a dive, then sends Starr into the corner, hits a beautiful inverted power, like it was inverted T-bone suplex, whatever you want to call it, where he caught him, like he would capture like a guy and then just swing him over, but he caught him like belly to back and just launched him over his head, but not in like a belly to back suplex. He had him in like Shelton Benjamin's old T-bone suplex move and just took him up and just looked so good, man. Mitch does the march around the ring, march through like around the ring, inside the ring, delayed suplex. I think he got around the ring 3 times before he ended up suplex Starr. It was really good. Beautiful snapdragon by Mitch. Mitch, those chops he was hitting Starr with were just rough.
Yeah, Starr got some back on him pretty good, though.
Oh, yeah. Starr hits a big drop kick to the pelvic region, as I wrote, because he caught him pretty low on that drop kick. I was like, oh.
He did,
where he like jumps up. It's where he jumps up in the air and goes and like tries to like kind of like a downward like angle drop kick, and he caught him kind of low with it. I was like, oh. He gets Mitch on his knees and hits a running neck breaker. Starr ends up reversing a German, hits a release German of his own, but only gets 2. Starr goes for the Star Cutter, but he is caught, and Mitch hits the Ludwig van Driver.
Spindly Bindley.
For the win.
Yes. So good. Didn't he hit like a little kind of looking Spindly Bindley, or was that the T-bone thing you were talking about? I felt he did something that was like
it was
a
similar.
little bit of a Spindly.
No, it was when he hit the just like the sit out Death Valley Driver. It was like you got a guy on the shoulder and you let them go. Or like an FU. He did like an FU. Yeah.
And he was. I feel like he was low on the ground, wasn't he? Or wasn't he like on his knees or squatting or something? He just kind of came out of it.
We got him. He was like squatting, picked him up, and then knelt down with it almost.
This is nearly a week removed from the show. I'm surprised I'm remembering any of this.
Me too.
Love of my life, Mitch Clarke. It was so nice to open the show.
Oh,
so good. The energy was just so great for this match. I remember it really popped the crowd, got the crowd excited. A really great way to open up the show. As you said, Christian Starr, just a star. Chris Starr? Is it Christian Starr or Chris Starr?
Christian Starr, yeah.
Okay.
He originally was, when he started in Top Talent, it was just Chris Starr, but it has evolved to his full name of Christian Starr.
Okay. I get confused when people change their names sometime, you know. D-Bride, Dippity-Doo-Dah-Day is a great example of that. Yeah, this is great. I had a great time with this. I was super stoked. Matt Slaps was reffing for this one. He was excited. Yeah, good times. Great opener.
Love me some Matt Slaps, that's for sure.
How much gonna move on. Matt slaps if Matt Slaps could slap Matts.
It's true. So we move on to the second match of the show. It's Baricade with his manager Gussy Jones versus Rick Jules. Barricade comes out. He gets the mic and he says, Jules ain't here. And I guess they should just leave, head to the pay window, and get the heck out of here. And then we hear some familiar music. And it's just, na, na, na. And we get the return to RCW of Dead Zone.
I love it. I love it.
Our friend who happens to have a costume similar to a guy who's in a movie, Dead Zone, he returns.
Yes.
The crowd is just going insane. So we get Barricade versus Dead Zone here. The crowd is all behind. Like, we were cheering for Barricade when it came out, and then we just started. Dead Zone came over. It's like, oh god, this is gonna be fun.
We had the same problem in the main event.
Oh, we had this problem a couple times throughout the night.
Yeah.
Well,
our loyalties have been tested.
The opening match, we kind of had a problem because we liked them both. It was
it was more notable though, I think, in the main event because they were calling us on it.
Also, in the 2 matches from now, we had it too. Don't get me wrong, we had it too. So, Dead So just rubbing his butt, just slapping his butt, rubbing his butt. He takes out the knee of Barricade. He unloads on Barricade, hits a leg drop for 2. Barricade hits a scoop slam and the elbow drop for 2. Barricade hard whip into the corner, hits the inside out lariat for 2. Gussy choking Dead Zone in the corner at one point. Barricade stops himself, like as he's running towards Dead Zone on the ropes. Dead Zone jumps out of the way, and Barricade stops himself from knocking Gussy off the apron. But Dead Zone ends up just grabbing him with a roll up. 1, the 2, the 3, and Dead Zone is victorious. So Dead Zone needs to find himself a partner because he should be getting himself a tag team title shot at some point against these tag team champions, I think.
Ooh, I guess we'll have to see about that once we get to the main event and talk about what happened there. But yes, this was great. I love seeing Dead Zone. He is such a wrestler of the people. Like, it just, everyone was so excited to see him. There were children running up to him to hug him. Remember that little one that was a problem later? He came screaming around the ring just to give him a hug. It was phenomenal. Phenomenal. I'm very happy that Barricade had kind of teamed up with Weston because, get him under the Gussy umbrella. That's got to be just lucrative for everybody. But, trying to drop the ball on this one. Picking up a loss right after winning those titles. I'm in agreement with you. I think Dead Zone needs to find a partner, not a deadbeat one. Please no Steves. And if you do get a Steve, just put him in a mask because that's all we ask. So we ask. Just cover their face.
Give us the Steve Zone. Give us Steve Zone.
Stuff kind of writes itself, right? I love his music too. Dead Zone's music, like Barricade's music slaps. I love that music, but Dead Zone's music just got the crowd so fired up. This was a fun match.
And Barricade was legitimately mad at us because we were cheering for him when he came out and he was playing to it like the cocky heel that he is. He was playing to it. Gussy, bring it in because we were cheering for Gussy too.
Gussy? Yeah.
Gussy and Barricade were pissed at us when we were cheering for Dead Zone on his entrance. He was like, "What the hell?" Like he was getting so mad at us. Him and Gussy.
I mean, but again, as I said, Dead Zone is a wrestler of the people. He loves the people and the people love him. He plays to the people. Barricade, he didn't play to us. He was playing it up, but he didn't play to us. We got to show respect and appreciation to the wrestlers who acknowledge us and stuff like that, of course. But Dead Zone also, Barricade's been around a hot minute also. But Dead Zone is kind of that classic character. And he goes away for periods of time and then comes back just rejuvenated and refreshed and full of new, exciting things. And this, got to get used to my directions again. This was a perfect example of that. He came back and got the crowd excited after months of absence. He showed back up, and he had a tremendous match with Barricade. I enjoyed this.
Oh, I thought it was just a good fun time with this match.
It was the
Yeah.
Good Time Boys match.
Heck yeah. So we move on. Third match of the evening. It is Son of Irish versus the Canadian Goose, Kyle Shaw. Soyboy kicking the rope into the undercarriage of Goose as he's getting into the ring, and then just starts beating the piss out of him, stomping the hell out of him, attacking him. Matt Slaps is getting in his face, and then Goose and Matt and kind of combo sent Soyboy into the corner, a little combo there. And Goose gets in some hard strikes, gets a very nice suplex. Soyboy gets an elbow to Goose coming in, hits these strikes, and gets a 2 count. Goose comes back with his hip toss into the cartwheel drop kick, and then he hits some bionic wings and gets to fake out the Takagi style fake out into the double underhook DDT after the bionic wings. I love it. Soyboy comes back with that like double X chop to the throat to Goose to fight back. Gets the enziguri, stomping the knee of Goose, hits him with like a leg DDT multiple times. He goes to the top, goes for the 450, but Goose dodges it, grabs him, Blade Runner, and Goose gets the 1, the 2, the 3, and you and me both were like, what the fizzly diddly?
Yeah, that was the PG version of what it was that we said. Melball had a lot of beepity beep 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 beepity beep beep beep. Make it make sense.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. I'm sure there's someone intelligent behind the construction of this, but like to me, it made no sense at the Kingsway show for Soyboy to lose to Christian Starr and then challenge Kody Mack for a title. And then, had that great match against Goose and Wolf Boy as a vengeance thing or whatever. Don't know where the fizzity Goose was, when they were attacking Mac, because we know he was there. He faced KB6, is what that is. So yeah, we see the tag team match, and they came out victorious on that, and we see a dogfight, essentially, a barking between a fence between Squig and Parrish, which sets up this, and so everybody loses. And then we see another barking match after this, and it was just, why is there so much bark? Why is there so much bark and no bite happening? We did see a setup for the Gladiator Gauntlet. Is that what it's called?
God, man, I should know this. I'm literally ringing
the
Gladiator Cup. The Gladiator Cup.
Gladiator Cup. I don't know. Yeah. Gauntlet would sound better. Anyway, so it sets up for that first round afterwards with Squig Steven Styles and Son of Irish. It just felt a little unnecessary for the story. A little confusing. Why have someone who's and they're stupid losses too, challenge for a title? It just doesn't make sense. However, I feel that with the structure of Parrish back, because Parrish was absent at the show, I feel if we get Parrish back in Son of Irish's corner, that things are going to kind of get back on track and start making a little bit more sense. And with this Gladiator Cup coming up, I suspect that Soyboy is probably going to be one of the more dangerous people in this tournament, because he's got a lot to prove and a lot to lose if he doesn't prove it. So I feel like this is kind of his time to kind of get out from underneath the good boy image that he's kind of been riding for the last little while and start taking some things for himself. That being said, I felt that this was a really good match overall. I was really into it. This was literally the only reason I had come to the show. So I was one of my personal favorites. Everyone knows that. That and Mitch Clarke. Love of my life. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about this one. Andre, how
Yeah,
do you feel about that?
I thought these two had a really good match together. I think Goose is like him and KB6 was insanely impressive. Him and
Mm-hmm.
Wolf Boy versus Soy Boy and Chris
Parrish.
Parrish. The last show was really good,
Mm-hmm.
and then here
Yeah.
again another like Goose is just he seems to be getting into these classics. He's doing pretty good. I'm
Goose
liking
is
the
goosing.
improvement. Goose is goosing it. So yeah, you
Goose
as
is
you
goosing.
alluded to, Soy attacks the knee of Goose after the match. He pelvinizes the knee, jumping off the top ropes and slamming the chair around the knee of Goose.
Mm.
Styles shows up, gets a power slam or something to Soy Boy, sending him out.
Mm.
Styles says it's him and Soy Boy in the first round of the Gladiator Cup at the Kingsway Legion that I will be ringing and saying, so be there. Don't worry about the others. Come to the show.
Didn't he call him a spoiled brat too?
He did. He called him a spoiled brat and a couple other things.
I mean, whose company is it? Who made him a spoiled brat?
I'm gonna say Michelle.
How dare you? How dare you? Michelle, I hope you watch this and I hope you slap this mofo tomorrow.
I love you, Michelle. It's all love here. Well, not there's still love coming, but in a match or so, it's just gonna be not so much love.
I was gonna say, are you sure?
It's all my love to hate in that one. We move on to the match that came before intermission. It's real talk. Dean Richtor versus the healer, Harlon Abbott. Dean was so pissed at us.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, it was so good. It was
I
so
get
good.
it too, though. He is a heel. He doesn't want us cheering him. But if you don't want us cheering you, don't be so freaking good.
I love his I love him as a wrestler. I think he has that perfect dry charisma. Like
Yeah.
he's not the most expressive person in the world, but I think he just oozes this like almost like I think almost a better version of a Bret Hart charisma because he has that very dry charisma, and I think Dean's is better in my again. That's a personal feeling from watching this man evolve. It's for so many years in
Yeah.
professional wrestling. I think he's so good, and the fact that he has made so many Pokemon references in his entrances and where he's from, I will always be a fan of him for that. So he was going back and forth and like telling us boo, we were all cheering. Then you go back to the other side, they were booing. He's like, yes, and he come over wrestling. He's like, yeah. He's like, no. He was getting so mad, and he got this one kid so incensed with him. This kid was just pissed.
Mm-hmm.
So Harlan makes
Yeah.
his way out, gets a good crowd reaction. Our group was cheering for him. Like again, Harlan's
Mhm.
a good wrestler,
He's a great
very good
wrestler.
wrestler. And I
Mm.
again, we really and it was so. I have to play the video for you to understand what is going on. So this kid literally wants to fight Dean Richtor,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Harlan Abbott let it happen. Let's just go.
I love the delayed reaction of the parents. I hope this kid wasn't like new. Like this was like actually something that was planned.
He kicked him in the balls. The kid started swinging, then just up kicks Dean in the balls. And as Dean drops to his knees to fall over, the kid just winds up and just misses clocking Dean in the face.
Yeah.
Oh my
Mhm.
god! And he just kept going at Dean, and then Dean rolled out of the ring, and then the kid ended up. Harlan got the kid to leave the ring, and oh my god, it was so good. Just caught him right in the plug. And then the kid gets like his mom grabs him and takes him out of the room at this point,
Mhm.
right? So
Mhm.
we're gonna get into the match. We get more to talk about with it. I got more of it. I got another video too. So
It's funny because I saw someone get in trouble the other day, like the other show, on the June 1st show, for letting their kid walk up and around the ring. So I found this very odd that this was something that happened. So I definitely feel like this was a work, and if it wasn't, why? Think
yeah,
of the
and
children.
while very funny, don't get me wrong, anybody watching that brings a child to any wrestling show anywhere, do not let your kids go up to the ring while the action is going on. I don't care how incensed your child is. I don't care. It was funny in this moment, but in another moment, if your kid's approaching when they're doing something, they can get hit. They can get hurt. So please keep your kids out. Like if a wrestler's telling your kid to come see him, that's one thing.
Yeah.
They're doing something, and they're obviously aware of your child. But when stuff's going on, keep your kids back. Please don't take this as an example of things
Yeah.
that should be happening in professional wrestling, because it
Well,
really
yeah,
shouldn't.
because we've seen that one kid get kicked in the face once at that LPW show, right? Like,
Oh,
just because
dude,
he wasn't listening to the wrestlers to
I've
get
seen
the hell
multiple
out of the
kids.
way.
I've seen kids get hit incidentally for things,
Mhm.
and like by being in the wrong place at the wrong time, running around. That's the other thing. Keep your kids in your seats at a show, please, please, please. Not like during the matches. Let them run around when the matches aren't happening, but during the matches, just be. It's a careful thing. Just don't want to get your kids getting hurt. So
Yeah. Let's take us into the good part of this
So
one,
we
though.
get into the match. There's a really great, like right off the top, they do this long crisscross spot where they're both just like running in opposite directions. So
Mhm.
good. I love that crisscross spot. And Harlon ends up stopping and just hits Dean, dropping him. Dean ends up fighting back. He hangs Harlon up on the ropes, hits a rolling forearm.
Mhm.
Dean sweeps Harlon in the corner, uh, poses in the other corner, and then hits the hesitation drop kick.
Yes.
And then
So good.
this is where I saw the mom bring the kid back in.
Mhm.
Yeah. And the kid's trying to like get at Dean again. And then they went to the outside in front of the child. So again, I'm going to play a video here.
Oh, dear.
And
Oh,
then
yeah,
and
I
then
didn't see
and,
this because we were on the other side.
yeah, Matt Slap sent me this video. Um in this instant, if a wrestler's telling you to do something, you can play into
Do
it.
it. Yeah.
This wasn't a bad spot, but
Mhm.
pick how you only get involved if they tell you, hey, do come here and do this. Never get involved otherwise, please.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna
Mhm.
play it.
Future UFC fighter in that one, my god.
Oh yeah. But again, that is a spot where it's not. I don't frown upon something like that because they're on the outside.
Mhm.
They're inviting the person to be part of it. That is
Mhm.
fine, but
Very fun.
keep yourself away from the ring unless otherwise instructed.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
So there again, really good match throughout. Harlan fights off a rear naked choke at one point. He has this beautiful backdrop suplex. Harlan hitting the kicks, gets an enziguri. Dean misses a running boot, and Harlan goes for the suplex, but Dean reverses into a beautiful snapdragon. Dean goes to the top, flips off the kid, hits the flying headbutt. Dean gets a 2 count, but then Harlan kicks out and reverses into a small package for the 1, the 2, and the healer gets the win.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to add to this. I don't really remember anything about this other than the kid. Again, keep in mind this is almost a week removed from the show. I would have had a lot more memory of this if we filmed this the next day, but life happens. I left
Mm.
town.
But it was a
So,
really good, strong match between these two.
100%. Yeah, yeah. This show was pretty solid. There was just a couple little nuances that were just like, whoa. And then
Huh.
the thing you're complaining about.
Mhm. But yeah, from the highs of highs, an incredible match between two excellent performers, to a hardcore title match between an amazing hardcore champion and a guy who I think is one of my favorite professional wrestlers going in Colten Kelly versus the broken down old man of Vince Austin. Yeah, I hated this match. Like,
Yeah.
and Colten was working his ass off in here. He beat the piss out of Vince in here when he had the offense and just
He
the cookie
did.
sheets and the crutches and just
So good.
But like Vince looked. I'm sorry, but Vince looked really sloppy here. Like it,
Mhm.
everything he did, everything he was doing, just looked like he barely connected, like with certain shots. And they go in a spot where Vince gets busted open, but I literally watched him pull out his blade, like go, like cutting himself, like not even trying to hide it, just laying in the middle of the ring, cutting his forehead, and then getting rid of his uh, blade very obviously. And I was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so Colton misses the moonsault at one point, and Vince like goes to pick up Colton but can't, or like he goes for a suplex, but it just looks terrible, almost dropping Colton on his head. Drops a knee. He does his whisper in the wind spot off the top, and it, oh, oof. uh,
Was that when he just kind of flew off
the,
the top rope?
the corkscrew spenton off the top, or the twisting splat or thing off the top.
That's
Oof.
where he landed really funny.
Yeah, that looked really
Yeah.
rough. He goes for a slam, but can't even get Colton up, and just drops him. Hits another knee drop that just looked. Oh, Colton goes back into working mode. Uh, Backdrops the shit out of Vince. Hits the pile driver, then uh, stop Vince's pile driver and hits his own. Uh, Vince kicks out at two. Colton then pile drives Vince onto the chair for the win.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I just never want to watch a Vince Austin match again. I might like 100%. The only reason I didn't get up and leave partway through the match, like to go get a drink or something, was the fact that I respect Colton Kelly, and I think that man is phenomenal, and I have utter respect for that man.
Mhm.
Oh, like Colton did when Colton was on offense doing stuff, he looked great. He was
Yeah.
doing great. It's just when Vince was on offense, it just looked terrible.
I was also very afraid because I was like, we had a small horde. We managed to get a small group of the horde together for this
Mhm.
show. So I had Andreas on one side, and I had Nathan on the other, and then you, and then Adam. And like you, Nathan, and Andreas were very much mocking the noises that Vince was making.
Oh,
Yeah. And I was like, you guys, I am genuinely afraid that I am going to get unalived in the parking lot by this man because you guys are mocking him. Genuinely afraid of this man.
he
But
was making weird moaning sounds, like
yeah,
loudly.
it was very reminiscent of MRB's time in RCW when he would come out with those porn noises. Yeah, anyway, I'm 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 gonna try. I'm gonna try. Just the one thing I wanna see, I don't wanna see Vince with a chain anymore. I don't mind if we're gonna have to be subjected to this kind of wrestling, but I don't want to see him with a chain anymore. I don't wanna see him with a weapon, period, anymore because I just don't feel that he knows how to what is the word? Competently use it? There's a way to use things and a way to not use things in this. Your job in this is to make it look really freaking good, but also not let your actions in this impact anybody else's lifestyle outside of this because they're making more money on their shoot job than they are here. Um, we know that that chain has impacted people outside of RCW. So I don't, if we're going to see Vince, I'm okay with Vince. This match was definitely not his best, but I've also definitely seen worse in this company from others. And that's not going to be fixed because one of them is the booker. So I don't mind seeing Vince. And this wasn't my favorite match of the night, I'll admit. It was one of my lesser, it was probably my least favorite match of the night, if I'm being honest. But again, it wasn't the worst thing I've seen. The blading, though, I was not happy with that. You know how I feel about blood. You know how I feel about John Moxley. If you don't know, I don't think that people should have to blade. There's no reason logically in this day and age that you need to bleed during a hardcore match. The point of the hardcore match is to slap people with shit. And like that was done. That was very much done. It was done with Colten versus Sid. It was done with JJ Spade versus Colten. It was not done with this.
And
And
even
it's unfortunate because Vince is supposed to be a hardcore legend here. And this was the least hardcore-ish that I've seen from a hardcore person. So again, I don't want to hate on Vince. I don't want to sit there and be like, yeah, I didn't like it, blah, blah, blah. But there was a lot of things that I did dislike about this match, and all of it did come, unfortunately, from Vince's involvement. Yeah, I don't want to say too much more on this.
and again, I'll preface this with maybe Vince was out of ring shape. He hasn't been around in a while. I don't know, but it looked really bad, dude. When Colten was on offense doing stuff, he was killing it. It was working really well. It's just when
It's
Vince would go on,
good.
just when Vince would go on offense, everything looked just sloppy and just pretty terrible. And again, I just don't know if because he hasn't been in the ring in a while, he's just out of shape. Like, because even
There's no excuse for that, though, because there are
no,
at minimum 3 training facilities in Edmonton, all of which he could easily access with getting in touch with people. So there's no excuse for that.
no,
There's
but
none. And especially when one of them is literally attached to this company.
and again, I also look at and again because again, a couple months ago when we were watching Vince every show,
Mm.
I didn't care for the hardcore stuff. Don't get me wrong, but he didn't look he didn't look this bad. He looked fine in the ring.
No. Him versus Jules was actually pretty okay.
Yeah, so like there's no like I just I don't know what was wrong with Vince tonight. Like it was pretty. He just. I'm sorry. He looked terrible tonight. He did. I don't know if it was an
There was a
outside
distinct
reason.
dropping of the ball.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's an outside reason for it. It's just has he lost his touch? I don't know, but I hope he can get better because I just as of right now I don't want to sit through Vince Austin matches until somebody tells me he's had a good match again, and not just his opponent being good.
I feel that. I feel that. I feel that. That's totally understandable. Because again, we've seen him do really great. And then he's kind of gone on a little hiatus and come back, and this was not this. I I understand when people leave that when they come back, they're not going to be on the same level. They have to work back up to that level because they had to work to get to that level to begin with, right?
Mhm.
But this didn't even feel like an attempt, you know?
Yeah, again, just because I watched him just sloppily do so many moves in this. And again, I'm not a professional wrestler, but again, I'm a person who's been watching independent pro wrestling since 2008. I have an eye for when somebody's doing well and when somebody's not. So I don't know.
I mean, the wrestlers would probably debate that with us, but
no, but again, you get what I mean. Though, like as a
I do,
fan
yes.
watching this, I was very disappointed.
Hmm.
Not in Colton
And as
because
a
Colton
fan
again.
watching this, we are the ones who are supposed to enjoy it, not the
Yeah,
wrestlers.
yeah.
So,
We move on. Main event of the
ah,
evening. This was phenomenal. It was
yes,
Weston King with his manager, Gussy Jones, representing
yes.
Big Swinging Promotions, taking on from the Res, T.Y. Jackson. T.Y. jumping Weston off the start, gets a corner drop kick.
Hello, hello,
Oh,
hello.
yeah, we
Eh, eh,
did
eh,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
we did it. We did it. T.Y. coming and touching net tips and doing his entrance.
Yeah, and this was another thing where we were saying earlier in the show, Weston, we were cheering Weston. He gave us that razzle dazzle with the intro, but then we just went lit for TY because it's TY. We love the rides.
And he came out the
And he
necklace.
was, yes, best song ever. Second best song in RCW because let's be honest, number one, Rich Gang.
Kissed by a Rose,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah, it's a Rads thing. They have the best music wherever they go.
Mhm.
Weston wasn't happy with us. He's like, "What the frick?" Like, we can't help it. He touched our tips. You didn't touch us. You razzle dazzled us, which is just as good, but he touched our tips.
I I
Is what it
I
is.
think touching tips is a little better than the razzle dazzle, but I still love the razzle dazzle. I'm rad for life, you know. But even when they were bad guys, I was rad for life. So don't even be surprised.
Mm-mm. Razzle dazzle's pretty good.
And
Smells
front
pretty good. The
oh,
only thing that would
oh,
make the razzle dazzle better is if he went back to his tearaway jeans.
and boom, boom, boom! Breaking news from unnamed
Oh,
sources. I've heard that Rich King finds it very weird to be a good guy in RCW, where he's always been a bad guy. And he finds being a good guy and getting cheered there very odd.
why?
I don't know. It's just what I heard from my unnamed source.
That's very odd. I mean, TY does it well. Fucking Larry does it really well too.
I know. I'm just
Mitch is Mitch. Mitch just kind of exists in our world and we just kind of watch him.
That's true. So they get again. They're Ty sends King out with a Hurricane Rana, hits a tope on Hilo. He sends King back in the ring, but King rolls out the other side. So Ty hits another tope on Hilo at the other side. King
And you know
gets
what didn't happen?
I don't know. It was
We
all
didn't
successful.
nearly watch TY die.
It's true. That's true. I was gonna
They
ignore that.
they did not dodge the TY.
Yeah. Um,
There's no dodge.
King gets back on offense in the ring, hitting that boss man slam in the ring for 2.
Yeah.
Um, Weston choking TY on the ropes. Gussy chokes TY on the ropes. King gets a 2 count.
Mhm.
TY slips out of a muscle buster and hits a kick, but King ends up taking his head off with his beautiful lariat for 2. King
Mhm.
stops the tornado DDT, gets that clothesline in the corner. TY dodges the running knee, but King drops him with a hard shot, and but he only gets a 2 count. As somebody said, I think it was Adam, 2.785.
Rude. Why
I
so much
agree.
math?
It's only 4 numbers, Mel.
So much math.
Could have made it longer. That's what I think
Rude.
that's me and Adam agreed to. Ty it strikes. It's a pump, but King hits a pump kick. Ty hits a thrust kick, unloads kicks, dropping King. Ty gets a kick from the apron, and then the roll like that somersault roll through the ropes into a neck breaker for 2.
Mhm.
King gets this beautiful pump handle exploder suplex for 2. Um,
Mhm.
TY reverses the full Nelson slam into a roll up for 2, then hits a wheel kick. House call kick follows it up, but Gussy ends up attacking the ref to stop the count. TY has Gussy by the throat. King misses TY, hits Gussy with the belt. TY hits the thrust kick. He goes running into the corner at King, but King catches him Samoa Joe style, lifts him up, but knees him in the ribs and then slams him down with that Uranagi. Looked
God,
phenomenal.
so good.
Tio ends up reversing King, sends King into the title belt held by Barricade, and Barricade falls off the apron. He just like, oh screw it, and just just leaves. Ty hits the tornado DDT to King. Or sorry, this is where Ty hits the tornado DDT off Barricade, sending him off the apron. This is where Barricade just hightails it to the back. And then Ty goes to the top. So one ton to Mr. Weston King, and
Mhm.
Ty gets the win. He gets the mic. He says, "Thanks everybody for coming out supporting independent wrestling." He says him and Rich are coming for the titles next Friday. This Friday, June 21st, which will feature me as the ring announcer at the Kingsway Legion.
Yes. Yes. We asked for this a couple shows ago too when Weston and Barricade won. And we got the match and they dodged a TY. And now they get a rematch for it. I think it's gonna be great.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. This was a great freaking match. We love Weston King. He's so good. So good. You wouldn't know that he hasn't been wrestling for freaking 5-10 years already. Like, he's just so crisp and good. And he has that ability to correct things very, very instantaneously. Very, very natural talent in this business. But then you got TY, who has that natural talent, but also that, like, undeniable. I was going to say unquestionable. That's also probably a good word for it. Undeniable charisma that just has the crowd in the palm of his hand. I like the Ravs as faces. I feel like there's been a lot of people wanting, I like being heels because I like being a dick to people. Well, for every dick, we need to have a nice person. So I'm very happy that we have at least 3 members of the Rats who are faces. I don't know what Mitch is. He's kind of like that neutral Ellen Gubernable there who just kind of exists in our world. Or do we didn't exist in his? I'm not entirely sure. Um, you know what I feel made this show phenomenal? We talked about this in the car on the way home, and I have no shame in saying it. No Team Steve. No Team Steve. It was so good. So good. Please keep that up. We're not going to get that because we get both Steves tomorrow. But
in separate matches too.
I know it's almost as bad as the Millennial Rebels in PWA. But I know you like them. I did not, mainly because you had that talentless little chihuahua thing running around yippity yippy yipping in everyone's faces. No, we got the
Whoa,
two
I
good
can't
ones.
even say that about the thickness, man. Come on.
I was going to say before you so rudely interrupted me that we still got the 2 good members of that faction still active in indie wrestling in the Thickness Reed Matthews and Colten Cutthroat Kelly.
And Mo Jabari.
Mo Jabari wasn't a part of the Millennial Rebels.
He was part of them for a little while, yeah. Towards the end of the Millennial Rebels. Yeah.
I don't remember that. I remember him getting beat up by them, but sorry, Mo, about your damn luck. Maybe you should have made some better life choices. Yeah, I really actually enjoyed this show. Other than the hardcore match, which unfortunately, like the hardcore matches have been very solid for RCW this year. This match just wasn't a vibe for me,
No.
unfortunately. However, Colten Kelly, dominant champion as the hardcore champion. I look forward to seeing more matches from him because we know how damn good he is. We know he's going to put on great shows. What a
Heck
great
yeah.
match! What a great
I
show!
look forward to more. And again, I'm looking forward to this Friday, June 21st, Kingsway Legion. Let's go! I cannot wait to be ring announcing some of the people I'm going to be ring announcing on this show. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yes, it's going to be fun.
Yeah. But we have come to the end of another episode of Chop Talk. I want to thank everybody for joining us here. We really appreciate all of you. So I gotta say some thank yous to everybody. Thank you so very much. You can find me on the X at That Canada Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at That Canada Dude. You can find me on Facebook at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, or on our YouTube page where you might be watching us, or you might be watching us Backbreaker video, youtube.com/@Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk. You can also find our Japanese wrestling content over at SundayNightsMainEvent.com or patreon.com/SNME Radio. You can also support them by going to Chop Tees and getting a t-shirt from them, or a hat, or a hoodie, or whatever you want to get from that they have over there. You want to get from them. Want to thank our partners over at our local establishment. You can check out all the great content they have over there, including myself on this coming Wednesday the 26th. You can find me and my other tag team partner, my alternate tag team partner when Melball is not available, Ol Ed, as we hit up Marvel Talk for the MCU Rebound, as we talk Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, the first Guardians movie. Come see if I like it or not. I do.
Now come see why.
Come see why. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to have a good time there. So come check us out. Twitch.tv/our local establishment and YouTube.com/@our local establishment. You can also find us over Backbreaker Video. I want to thank Mike so much for simulcasting all of our stuff. Our stuff comes out about a week to a week and a half later on his channel. So thank you so much if you're watching us there. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. YouTube.com/@Backbreaker Video. And almost every day of the week, Mike is on Twitch, streaming live every Wednesday, Saturday, and pay-per-view Sunday. He is there with his AEW watch-along, so check him out there. And every other day of the week, and sometimes even on those days too, he is playing video games there. So check out all his great live gaming content. If you want replays of that gaming content, go to youtube.com/@Backbreaker_gaming, where you can find him, all the stuff from him, Mr. PJC, this guy, Mr. Rick Jules, and our lovely, lovely friend,
Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. My neighbors are going to know who Kayla J is now. And that's okay. But these aren't even my neighbors. That's even better. We love Kayla J here.
Melball, where can they find ya?
If you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can follow her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow her on everything else, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find me on our local establishment's show, Japanese Wrestling Update with this guy. Over here every Friday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. And this is not. And then we will let you know on social media. Tomorrow we will be having a pre-recorded episode as this guy mentioned quite a bit in this episode. We are going to be at an RCW show where he is going to be apparently making himself famous. That is probably not the hand motion that you want. Doesn't make it better.
You gotta double down.
My guy. My God. Oh, we got some stuff to share with you about the stuff happening in Japan, so stay tuned to our socials to see when that is going up. But it's 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Establishment. You can also find me on Astrid Pizarro's YouTube channel, where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. We're going to be hopefully recording our next episode, either this weekend or sometime during the week, so it can come out next Friday, which would be great because we have some ish we need to talk about. So stay tuned to our socials to find out when that is coming out. If you're wanting to attend an RCW show, you can check out their Facebook page, Real Canadian Wrestling, where you can find a link to their Eventbrite. It's Eventbrite, right? I always forget that. Why do I call it Everbrite? Is that an illegal streaming thing? I don't even know. Eventbrite. Or if you are in with the wrestling community, you can contact one of your local wrestlers and get some tickets through them. They'll be probably waiting for you at the door. You will help them out. You will help you out. You save yourself some money. Everybody's happy. Again, Real Canadian Wrestling on Facebook, or contact one of your local wrestlers. What is this? Oh, if you're wanting to be a wrestler, referee, or manager, apparently you can check out TopTalentWrestling.com, where they offer different classes, training. You can probably go down, meet some of them, check it out. Yeah, go check that out. You learn some ish with Harlon Abbott. Hey, Abbott. Andre, my trusted friend and colleague, I'm almost out of wine. Do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
I just want to say thank y'all so much for joining us here. We really do appreciate you. I'm almost out of my drink too. So please, thank you so much for joining us. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, whether you're on the Andre Melball or Backbreaker Video. Comment down below because we want to hear from you. We love talking to you. We love hearing your opinions on everything. So please get in contact with us because your opinion matters to us. Also, don't forget that share button so you can share us out. Tell your friends, family, and people who like to drink wine.
Like me.
Yeah, like Mel. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello.
And that being said, I am your Melba. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time.